This part of the draft is where NBA scouts are really tested to uncover a hidden gem. There will be underrated players chosen low in the draft who will go on to have long, successful careers. They can provide unexpected value to a team, pushing them into the playoffs or maybe even a championship. Maybe a player was a late bloomer and stayed 3 or 4 years in college, in which NBA scouts will ask the question of, if he stayed in college that long, he must not be that good of a prospect. Maybe players were overlooked because they played overseas. Sometimes there's just not one reason players become known as draft steals. Maybe they just get to the league and blossom by working on their game, fixing their weaknesses, and finding the right role on the team that fits their skill set. In this video, I'll continue to discuss prospects in my third and final prospect breakdown video. SMU junior guard Shake Milton. Milton is a big guard that looks to primarily be a facilitator, whether it's throwing lobs, finding teammates off his penetration, or outlet passes. Along with being a willing passer, he can also put the ball in the hole. He has solid handles, which allows him to be able to create space on his mid-range jump shot and attacking the lane. Milton has proven to be a consistent shooter by shooting over 40% from three-point land over the last 3 seasons. He's not the quickest player off the dribble, and question remains, can he turn the corner consistently on the next level? Milton has looked more confident and more aggressive this year and has translated to more impressive numbers. He's a multi-positional defender because of his length, size, and awareness. More than likely, Milton will not be a great scorer on the next level, but his versatility will allow him to play both guard spots and play in the NBA for a long time. My NBA draft projection for Shake Milton is from 22 to 28. Texas Tech freshman guard Zhaire Smith. He was under-recruited mainly because he played for a small AAU team and didn't attract enough attention. His recruitment picked up late. Now he finds himself outplaying 5-star recruits and top teams in the nation on a nightly basis. Zhaire was thrust into the starting lineup after an injury to a teammate and has become an important cog in the Texas Tech machine. Smith has established himself as an NBA prospect. NBA scouts have gotten to know this guy's name. He isn't the first freshman to burst onto the scene after not being recognized as a top recruit, but based off his potential, Smith is a diamond in the rough. Zhaire's biggest strength is his athleticism. Combine that with a high motor, and you have yourself a two-way player. Smith is a great cutter, finisher, and offensive rebounder. Nobody elevates quicker around the rim than this guy. Smith seems to always be in the right position and really understands the game at a high level. He doesn't just bring the athleticism and high motor on the offensive end, but he also brings it on the defensive end as well. His defensive versatility adds more value for him as an NBA prospect. There might not be a better shot blocking guard in college basketball. If you attack the rim with Smith around, you better come with it. He doesn't project as a #1 option on offense, but his athleticism, basketball IQ, and defensive energy will get him drafted in the first round. For Smith to take the next step, he needs to become a better ball handler and consistent three-point shooter. My NBA draft projection for Zhaire Smith is from 22 to 28. Guard Anthony Simons. Simons is a 6'4" combo guard and is eligible for this year's draft and is considering going through the process. He is technically already graduated from high school in Orlando, and seeing that he'll be 19 years old and 1 year removed from his high school graduation, he's eligible to enter if he wants to, or he could enroll in college and possibly be a top 5 pick in 2019. Don Maker was in the same situation. Simons projects as a high-scoring guard with elite-level athleticism. He can score on all 3 levels. Scoring comes naturally for him. Even though he's a shoot-first point guard, he's very capable of running an offense. He has the size and quickness to be a good defender, but will have to commit to giving supreme effort on that side of the ball. Simons needs to add strength to be able to handle the physicality of the NBA. Drafting Simons in this draft will be a gamble, but NBA teams have never shied away from risk-reward scenarios. It only takes one team to make Simons a first-rounder. My NBA draft projection for Anthony Simons is from 20 to 40. Tulane junior guard Melvin Frazier. Frazier is a 6'5" athletic freak with a reported 7-foot wingspan and a 40-inch vertical. He's a quick twitch athlete who won't hesitate to meet you at the rim. He's turning the potential from his freshman and sophomore year into production in his junior year. Frazier's stock has been going up ever since his play in November and December. He has an improved jump shot, shooting around 40% from three-point range. He could be the American Athletic Conference's most improved player this year. Frazier plays with a lot of passion, and his improvements are all based on his hard work. This year, Frazier is averaging around 16 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals per game. He's an underrated passer who can create opportunities for his teammates. Frazier actually wants to play defense. He's always guarding the opposing team's best player. He's an elite ball hawk with the versatility to defend 3 positions. Having a good NBA combine could solidify him in the first round. The sky's the limit for Frazier because of his hard work, fearlessness, and athleticism. My NBA draft projection for Melvin Frazier is from 24 to 30. Wichita State junior guard Landry Shamet. After giving Kentucky problems in last year's NCAA tournament, Shamet came back to school to prove that last season wasn't a fluke. He has great size for a point guard at 6'4" and has a great feel for the game. He isn't the quickest player, but more than makes up for it with his shifty handle, changing speed, and the ability to keep a defender on his hip. Shamet is one of the best shooters in college basketball, shooting around 44% from three-point range. Even though his outside shooting has been his greatest strength, he has also been able to score inside the arc by getting to the rim and scoring off the dribble. Shamet's body control has helped him shoot over 70% at the rim. He has a high basketball IQ and should be able to run an offense on the next level and space the floor well off the ball. Shamet might not be a starter on the next level, but I could see him playing the backup point guard role. My NBA draft projection for Landry Shamet is from 24 to 30. Arizona sophomore guard Rawle Alkins. After missing the first 9 games of the season due to a foot injury, Alkins has definitely made his presence felt on the Wildcats. Even though he's missed some games, he's been able to pick up right where he left off last year. Alkins is averaging around 14 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists a game, while shooting 46% from the field and 38% from 3. He's a strong physical guard with the ability to attack the basket and space the floor. He's a strong finisher and has shown flashes of scoring off the dribble. Alkins is 6'4", weighing 220 pounds with a 6'9" wingspan. His size allows him to be a versatile defender who is quick enough to keep up with guards and has the strength and long arms to challenge forwards. Alkins has the unique combination of aggressiveness and unselfishness, which any team wouldn't mind having. He's a well-rounded guard who can contribute on the offensive and defensive end. Cutting down on his turnovers and becoming a more consistent jump shooter are things he should work on. My NBA draft projection for Rawle Alkins is from 26 to 30. UCLA junior guard Aaron Holiday. The 6'1" guard is a low-to-the-ground dribbler who can explode by defenders either in isolation or out of the pick and roll. Holiday is making a strong case for Pac-12 Player of the Year. With Lonzo Ball gone, Holiday has grown as the leader of a young and inexperienced UCLA team. In his junior year, he's averaging 19 points, 6 assists, and 1 steal per game, while shooting 43% from 3. Holiday is a skilled combo guard who can do a lot of things well. He's a good scorer and can knock down outside shots and catch and shoot opportunities. Holiday does everything offensively for UCLA, and he's also a good defender and always takes the challenge of guarding the other team's best guard. He's not just a scorer, he's also a playmaker. He has had 8 or more assists in a number of games. He doesn't have the ideal size and athleticism for a point guard, but his basketball IQ, maturity, and craftiness will give him a chance to succeed on the next level. My NBA draft projection for Aaron Holiday is 26 to 30. Creighton junior guard Kyrie Thomas. Kyrie is an undersized 2 guard with a 6'10" wingspan and the defensive capabilities to be a productive 3-and-D player on the next level. He's a tough, hard-nosed power guard that plays with physicality. The defensive end is his calling card. Kyrie uses his agility, strength, length, and awareness to lock down offensive players and get deflections. He's the reigning Big East Co-Defensive Player of the Year, and he's also a solid offensive player. He's not going to blow you away with his speed, but he does have a quick first step to get to the rim. Thomas has shot around 40% from 3 throughout his college career. He may need to improve his ball handling to be able to play the point guard position, which will give him a better chance to get more consistent minutes on the next level. My NBA draft projection for Kyrie Thomas is from 26 to 32. Notre Dame senior forward BONZIE COLSON. Colson's biggest strength is his versatility. He absolutely fills up a stat sheet with buckets, rebounds, assists, blocks, and steals, and also has the intangibles that doesn't show up on the stat sheet. He's almost a carbon copy of Warriors forward Draymond Green, someone who is undersized but has the wingspan and the awareness to defend the forward position. Colson is only 6'5", but has a 7-foot wingspan. He's a tough, gritty player who excels on both ends of the court. Doesn't have the skill set to be a top scoring option on a good team, but can take advantage of his opportunities when the defense is focused on other options on the team. He will need to improve his jump shot as he mostly scores from around the basket. If he's able to defend NBA power forwards consistently, he'll be able to play on the next level for around 10 years, whether he develops as a starter or comes off the bench. My NBA draft projection for BONZIE COLSON is from 28 to 35. NC State sophomore center OMER YURTSEVEN. After having a disappointing freshman year, which included a 9-game suspension by the NCAA, YURTSEVEN decided to come back for another year to refine his game. He's a very skilled offensive big man with good coordination and mobility. He's a threat with his back to the basket and facing up. YURTSEVEN has a fundamentally sound post game who can turn over both shoulders. In addition to his post game, he also is a threat from three-point land. In his sophomore year, he is showing the talent he showed when he played for his national team. Even though he's mobile, he lacks elite level athleticism and explosiveness. He has been a solid shot blocker in college and international play, but I don't see him as a rim protector on the next level going against quicker and more athletic players. Everybody knows what kind of offensive player YURTSEVEN can be in the NBA. What will determine how successful he is his ability to defend his position and stay out of foul trouble. My NBA draft projection for OMER YURTSEVEN is from 28 to 35. St. John's sophomore guard SHAMORIE. One thing SHAMORIE can do is get buckets. He's a fearless and talented scorer who has the confidence to let it fly anywhere on the court. SHAMORIE can shoot the 3-ball off the dribble and off the catch. He has the quickness to blow by defenders with his first step, which allows him to get in the lane anytime he wants. He's been given a green light at St. John's, but still shoots at an efficient rate. He's a shooting guard and a point guard's body, as he's listed at 6'1", 170 pounds. I don't think he's going to be a player who is relied on to consistently get his teammates involved. I believe his best role will be similar to Lou Williams, someone who can come off the bench and fill it up every chance he gets. But if he can become a more willing passer and cut down on his turnovers, he probably could get an opportunity to be a starter if everything breaks right. My NBA draft projection for SHAMORIE is from 28 to 35. Cincinnati junior guard Jacob Evans. Evans is a tough-minded physical wing who is the real deal on the defensive side of the ball. He's a defensive force at 6'6" and is able to guard at least 3 positions. He ranks at the top of college basketball in defensive rating. Evans is the leader and focal point of a surprising Cincinnati Bearcat squad. He is averaging around 14 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block a game, while shooting 39% from 3. Like Melvin Frazier, Evans is another guy whose stock could go up after participating in the NBA Combine. 3-and-D players bring so much value to an NBA franchise, and Evans projects as another one. He brings so much tenacity and toughness to the floor, from his defense to his rebounding. Working on his ball handling should be a priority for him. I wouldn't be surprised if Evans gets drafted in the middle of the first round. My NBA draft projection for Jacob Evans is from 28 to 35. German forward Isaac BONGA. BONGA is a tall, lanky prospect with a versatile skill set to play multiple positions. At 6'9", he has shown the ability to handle the rock and show point guard skills to go along with his quickness and coordination. He uses his size to be able to see over the defense and make the right passes. As he gets more stronger and more mature, he should be able to finish in the lane through contact. At this point, he's not a reliable offensive option. He lacks creativity as a scorer and doesn't have a consistent outside shot. He has the handles to be able to run an offense, but he doesn't have any go-to moves in the half court at this point. I see BONGA as a draft and stash prospect this year. Teams will covet his passing ability at his size and his long-term potential. He is still only 17 years old. He needs to improve his jump shot, his shot selection, and cut down on his turnovers. I believe it's going to take some time for him to be ready to take the next step in the NBA. My NBA draft projection for Isaac Bonga is from 28 to 40. Latvian forward Rodius Kurtic. Kurtic is a tall and skilled wingman who has the size, shooting ability, and upside to be a factor on the next level. After putting his name in the draft last year, he ultimately decided to withdraw his name from the draft and improve his game. He doesn't have the burst off the dribble, but he's crafty with the ball and uses his length well to finish in the lane. His vision could allow him to become a secondary playmaker eventually. His offensive game is still developing at this moment, but the potential is there. Kurtic lacks the strength and quickness, which will likely make him a defensive liability, playing the 3 or the 4. Kurtic could be a draft and stash player, which a team picking at the end of the first round will maybe take a chance on him. My NBA draft projection for Rodius Kurtic is from 28 to 40. Kansas senior guard Vladislav Mikhailiuk. The 20-year-old senior is finally playing up to his potential that most scouts expected in his freshman year at Kansas. He was effective enough as a spot-up shooter to generate some NBA interest last year, but he transformed his body and game in the offseason, and he could be a first-round pick this year. Mikhailiuk is averaging around 17 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists a game, which are all career highs. He is not just a shooter. In his senior season, he has the ability and confidence to put the ball on the floor and make a play. He has enough athleticism to finish at the rim on a consistent basis. He has also improved as a defender and a rebounder. Being 6'8" and a lethal three-point shooter is enough to get an NBA team's attention. But with his improvements at still a young age, even as a senior, Mikhailiuk could find himself starting on a good team in no time. My NBA draft projection for Vladislav Mikhailiuk is from 30 to 40. USC junior forward Chimezie Metu. Metu is an extremely active big man who plays with a high motor. His play on the defensive end will be the thing that teams look at first. At 6'11" with long arms and lateral quickness, he is the ideal defensive big man in today's NBA. Someone who can stick with guards in the pick and roll and protect the rim. Since coming out of high school, Metu has steadily improved on the offensive end every year. He will never be a player where an NBA team runs plays for. He can, on occasion, shoot a nice right-handed hook shot and has a quick spin move in the paint. He can hit a mid-range jumper, but he's not consistent at this point. He has the speed and athletic ability to outrun opposing big men down the floor for easy transition buckets. Many of his points come off missed shots and putbacks. Metu can be a valuable part of an NBA team because of his athleticism, defense, and high motor. A little offense here and there will boost his chances to stay in the NBA long term. My NBA draft projection for Chimezie Metu is from 32 to 40. West Virginia senior guard JEVON Carter. The best player on West Virginia is a tough, gritty two-way player who has flown under the radar all year long. Carter is one of the nation's best perimeter defenders and had Trae Young looking like an ordinary prospect in their earlier matchup. He has aggressive hands and quick feet with a strong frame, which allows him the ability to disrupt even the best ball handlers. There's always a place in the NBA for a guard like Patrick Beverley, and Carter fits in that mold. It's ideal to pair a player like JEVON Carter with a star guard or wing who can carry the load offensively. Carter has improved this year and is looking more dangerous with the ball as he's averaging around 17 points, 5 rebounds, and 7 assists per game. Age will always work against a player like Carter, but he has put himself in the best possible position to get drafted. He is making around 40% of his three-pointers and has become a better playmaker. My NBA draft projection for JEVON Carter is from 32 to 40. Missouri State senior forward Alize Johnson. Johnson is a guard in the forward's body. Over the course of his high school and college career, he hit a massive growth spurt where he went from 5'9" as a 14-year-old to a 6'9" forward as a college senior. Johnson's guard skills stayed with him the whole time. He's an athletic combo forward who can score in a number of ways. Alize plays with relentless energy, which is on full display on effort plays and rebounding in traffic. He has good handles for a player his size and can beat most of his matchups to the rim. Even though he's 6'9", he's only 210 pounds, which leads to getting pushed around a bit and shooting some off-balance shots. but he can stroke it from three-point range and has the potential to become a real pick and pop threat on the next level. He's also a threat to grab a rebound and take it coast to coast. Work ethic is not a problem for Alize Johnson. With his natural talent and ability, he can be a productive NBA player. My NBA draft projection for Alize Johnson is from 35 to 45. Michigan junior center Mo Wagner. Wagner is a very skilled big man who can score the rock in a lot of different ways. He possesses excellent footwork and shooting touch when playing in the low post. He handles the ball tremendously for a guy his size and also has a quick first step to get to the hoop. Michigan's offense runs through Wagner for the majority of the time. He is averaging around 14 points, 7 rebounds, and shooting 41% from three-point range. His offensive versatility will have some teams considering him in the late first round, but his defense may be a cause for concern, and more than likely will be the main reason a team passed on him in the first round. But his low post skills and his ability to shoot the three-pointer will make him at least a good rotation player in the NBA. My NBA draft projection for Mo Wagner is from 35 to 45. Villanova junior guard Jalen Brunson. Brunson is one of the best and smartest point guards in the nation, and his high basketball IQ and craftiness have put him in the NBA draft discussion. The son of a former NBA player, can score at the rim and from the three-point line. He's crazy efficient in both areas. Brunson plays within himself and tries to get the best shot every possession, whether it's for himself or a teammate. He is one of the best pick-and-roll ball handlers in the nation, and he never seems to get rattled. Jalen is not a quick and fast guard who can finish above the rim. He's a player that has to rely on thinking 2 steps ahead by putting the ball in his teammates' hands at the right time. Cool, calm, and collected at all times. He's a national champion and has big game experience that any team in the NBA could use. If a player like Andre Miller can have success in the NBA, so can Jalen Brunson. My NBA draft projection for Jalen Brunson is from 35 to 45. Syracuse sophomore guard Tyus Battle. Battle has good size and length for a wing and can shoot the three at a respectable level. He has a solid mid-range game and is able to get his shot off against quality defenders. Battle is not afraid to have the ball in his hands in clutch situations. He has the athleticism to play above the rim and finish through contact at the rim. He's a capable ball handler and mostly uses his dribble to get to his sweet spots on the floor, but will need to tighten it up to be as successful in the pros. Improving his three-point shot could open up opportunities to attack closeouts and get to the rim more often. His lack of elite quickness and explosiveness is another reason why improving his jump shot is a must. It's hard to predict whether or not he's a good man-to-man defender at Syracuse, where they only play zone defense. But he does play with a lot of grit and confidence, and he can be successful in forcing bad shots and turnovers. Battle was projected to be a first-round pick at the start of the season. At this point, he's a value pick in the middle of the second round. My NBA draft projection for Tyus Battle is from 40 to 50. Duke senior guard Grayson Allen. Allen has had a controversy-free season compared to his sophomore and junior year, but his earlier production hasn't lived up to expectations. He's not as reckless going to the basket as he used to be. Now he plays with more control and maturity. Allen has traded his wild drives for mid-range jumpers, and he uses the pump fake a lot and steps to the side and shoot the three. He started blending in and taking a back seat to Marvin Bagley this year. This will prepare him better for the next level than being a lead guy like he was in his sophomore year. He shows promise as a player that could be a microwave type of scorer in the NBA. Duke has not been a good defensive team in the last 3 years, and Grayson has been part of the problem. His lateral quickness is not the best. That's something he must improve on. A player like JJ Redick should give Grayson confidence that a below-average defender can work hard and turn himself into a respectable defender on the next level. My NBA draft projection for Grayson Allen is from 40 to 60. Arizona junior guard Alonzo Trier. Trier is a combo guard who can score in a variety of ways. He's a deceptive athlete with a quick first step and can finish through contact. His aggressive style allows him to get to the foul line on a regular basis. Most of his college career has been filled with suspensions. Alonzo decided to come back to Arizona to put together a productive season with a chance to win a national championship. In his junior year, he's averaging around 19 points, 3 assists, and 3 rebounds on 52% shooting from the field and 40% from 3. His game should easily translate, as teams are always looking for players who can put the ball in the basket. We've seen more consistent effort from him on the defensive end. He has the lateral quickness and agility to be a solid defender. Trier needs to add strength to be able to hold up for an 82-game NBA schedule. My NBA draft projection for Alonzo Trier is from 40 to 60.